Hello there, everybody, and thank you for watching Draft Entertainment. My name is Cole Martins, and today we're talking about the greatest thing to ever come to planet Earth itself. Football. NFL is finally back this week. Sorry the video is a little late. Yes, I know it's a Saturday and I'm posting this, and I just couldn't have any equipment to upload this video. But I did make my prediction for the Carolina Panthers Denver Broncos game. I got it right, of course. I picked the Broncos to win. They did win the game. My prediction was 20-17. The game ended 21-20 off a missed field goal by Gano, which I never would have guessed that was going to happen. But I'm 1-1 on the season. Happy to see that. The Super Bowl rematch was just as good as all of us expected it was going to be. We got to see Simeon's first time playing in the NFL. Did a good job. I think he did a great job in my mind. And the other issue was with Cam Newton, if he was taking too many hits. That's probably, we'll talk about that more next week. Let's get on this one. I'll mention here before we get on with the video, though, that this is going to be a two-part video. I'm going to do the first 7 games of this week in this video. We'll do the next 8 in the next video, so make sure you click on the link and go to that one right after you listen to this. Let's get on to our games for this week. And I'm going to start off here with the first game, the Green Bay Packers taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Some of the main stories coming in this game: Jordy Nelson coming back from injury last year, tearing his ACL. Should be interesting to see how he does after that, as well as seeing Bortles, see if he can do what he did last year after a very great season. See if he can repeat that. See how those good receivers again in Hearns and Allen Robinson. Also has a great backfield. Quite a few guys back there that can get some big yards from that, so that offense should be dangerous. They also improved that defense this year, so that should be interesting to see. My score for this one, I think the Green Bay Packers are going to take this. When you got Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, Cobb, Lacey, I think will have a good game as well after losing a lot of late last year. I think the Packers are going to win this one 31-17. Then we'll go to our next one, the Buffalo Bills taking on the Baltimore Ravens. We'd see McCoy coming from quite a few injuries last year, see if he can start to stay healthy for the Buffalo Bills this year. And Flacco is also back after being injured last year for the Ravens, so see how he can do after coming back from an injury. And the big thing about the Buffalo Bills this year is that they lost a lot of guys from injuries, so it should be interesting to see how that defense is going to hold together and see if they can try to hold back this Baltimore Ravens offense. And also the loss of Carlos Williams, who was suspended and had some issues on the field. They got rid of him and signed Reggie Bush, so that should be an interesting third down and receiving back for the Buffalo Bills. In this one, I had the Buffalo Bills winning 24-13. I think even with losing that parts of those defense, I think that defense will be able to hold on to this Baltimore Ravens offense. They don't have too many weapons, I don't think. Still questions at running back and receivers are kind of iffy too as well. I'm going to go with Buffalo to win this one 24-13. Next, we have the Chicago Bears taking on the Houston Texans. We get to see Osweiler's debut for the Texans after leaving the Broncos last year. Should be interesting to see how he does in his first game in a Houston Texans uniform. As well, we get to see White, who gets a shot finally to play in the NFL after being hurt as a rookie last year. Let's see if he can help Jay Cutler and Jeffrey out in the receiving corps and see if that offense can get going off that. Also, the loss of Forte for the Bears could be a big issue, but Langford, a very good running back as we've seen at the end of the year, would see what he can possibly do. In this one, I have the Houston Texans winning this one. I think that offense is just going to be too good for the Chicago Bears defense. As well, we all know that Houston Texans defense, J.J. Watt will be playing this Sunday from the sounds of it. So I think that defense is going to handle this Bears offense very well. Now the Texans winning this one 28-10. Next, we have the Cleveland Browns taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. This one is going to be an interesting one. I don't think either of these teams will be that good this year. But we get to see RG3 get back in the spotlight for the first time in a long time, as he has had a chance to play in that play, it seems like, in a couple years now. But he gets that starting quarterback job here in Cleveland, so it should be interesting to see how he's going to do after, I would say, a pretty good preseason for him. Also, we can see Weiss start off, make his NFL debut as a rookie, so that should be interesting to see how the Eagles will do around that, making sure he hopefully doesn't get hit too much. Sorry, Weiss might get the rookie nerves and get hit too much, and we know how that can ruin a NFL player's career. So in this one, I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns. I think RG3 will have a pretty good game. They have a good backfield with Johnson back there. I think he'll have a pretty good game in the backfield receiving for them. And we're going to see this young receiving core for the Cleveland Browns take effect as well with RG3. And I'm going to take the Browns in this one 17-13. Next, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Big question in this one. I think, can Von Freeman do what he did again last year in the backfield? He had a great running year. Did get injured a few times, so it'd be interesting to see how much carries he's going to get, see if Coleman comes in and tries to help him out in that backfield. Matt Ryan, can he come back to normal? Matt Ryan having a struggling year last year, so it should be interesting to see if he can pick it up, become a better quarterback, and get back to where he was a couple years ago. Then is it Tampa Bay's year this year? I think it could be a good year for Tampa Bay. They have the good receivers in Evans and Jackson. Winston, I think he could have a good year. He showed last year he could step up at the end of the season. But in this one, I am going to go with the Atlanta Falcons. I think that offense is going to be too strong. Julio Jones, a great receiver on that outside. Even though I believe both these teams don't have that great of a defense, Buccaneers improved on that defense this year a little bit. But I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons having a stronger offense in this one to win 27-24. Next, we have the Minnesota Vikings versus the Tennessee Titans. A big storyline of this one, Teddy Bridgewater being knocked out for the season after tearing his ACL in practice. Sam Bradford is now in Minnesota after a trade. That traded their first-round pick next year, and I believe is a fourth-round pick in 2018. So it should be interesting, but he's not going to be the one starting in that game. It'll be Sean Hill starting, so the guy who actually knows the program right now, he's going to be taking over for this game. I believe Bradford will probably start week 2 after he learns the offense pretty well. And is this Titans year? I believe the Titans have a pretty good team this year. I believe Mariota could have a good season at quarterback. The running backs, adding Murray, could be a huge thing for that backfield. Receiving core, still a young receiving core. If they can step up in this, I believe they could do good. And that defense, I think, can be pretty strong as well. And in this one, I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans. I think the Titans have the better team in this one. Sean Hill, I believe he's still going to have a good game, but we'll see. I just don't see him stepping up too much. And I see the Titans taking this one 17-13. And the last game I'm going to predict here on part 1 of this video, we have the Cincinnati Bengals against the New York Jets. Fitzpatrick finally ends his holdout and signs a 1-year contract, I believe it was, with the New York Jets. So good to see him back in a Jets uniform. He was a great quarterback last year as he set the franchise record for passing touchdowns. Should it help out that team? And the Bengals, can they finally try and get back in the playoffs again, and by winning the division and possibly get their first playoff win since 1990? Should be interesting to see as this team pretty much kept everything together from last year. And we'll see how this team is going to go. If Andy Dalton, he got injured last year, so see if he can come back and play strong like he did for most of the year last year. And in this one, I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals over the Jets, since both these teams have great defenses, and I believe it's going to be a pretty good shootout between these two. Both of the teams have great quarterbacks, great wide receivers. But I'm going to take the Bengals in this one. AJ Green, I think, will have a pretty good game, as the Bengals will take the win in this one 20-17. And again, that is it for part 1 of the NFL Week 1 season. Again, should be a link underneath, or I'll put one probably on the screen here. So click on that link and come in to watch part 2. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, click the like button. And if you want to keep in touch with me, you can leave a comment under the video, or you can follow me on Twitter at ColeMartins57. I'd love to hear from you guys. We can talk about other stuff on Twitter if you'd like to. Again, thank you guys for watching this video, and please tune into part 2, and have a great day.